So from Canvas, you need to download this shell file. Okay. This Word document has some summary like in the other chapters, and this PDF has the worked out file. I mean, it's the PDF of the completed notebook. And as we work through the chapter, I may update that. So you need to get a copy after I finish with the chapter one more time. But you can use it as we proceed. And chapter 6 is a relatively small chapter. We should be able to get it done quickly. And then we're going to be using lots of little files, data files, for us to read into Pandas. And those files are in the zip file. So you need to download this zip file and extract the files. Yeah.
Will this be on the test as well?
So what?
Will this be on the...
No, this will not be. Pandas. Exam is up to Pandas. That's it. Okay. So go ahead and download the zip file and extract the files from there. Okay. So we again start with importing NumPy as NP, and then import Pandas as PD. Okay. Now here are the functions that we have in Pandas for us to read data in, and we are not going to go through all of them. Okay, I'm going to just give you a couple of examples. So if you have a nice little CSV file like the ones that we have had so far, okay, then bringing it in is fairly easy. Okay, so if you look at EX1 CSV, you see that it is a simple file. So it has column labels as the first row, and then we have 3 rows of data. And this is a CSV file. It's not an Excel file, it's a CSV file, right? So this is a nicely formatted file, so you don't have to do anything except read it. So we could say PD read CSV, and then you have to give the path where you saved the file. Okay. Now I saved the file in the same, well, this is where my Python file is, so I have to go back one, and then there is the file. So I have to back out like that. I have to put that in. I have to back out, and then I say EX1 CSV. So you need to know where you are in terms of the folder path. So if you want to know where you are, how can you tell where you are? So if you do working directory pwd, so that will give you the path of where you are. This is from way back in the beginning of the semester we talked about this. So this will give you where you are right now, so you can build this code properly. Okay. Now I'm not going to save it in a data frame. If you want to save it in a data frame, then you can say that df1 equal to, well, or whatever name that you want to give. Okay. So I'm going to just do this. So now you see that the default is, okay, when you use read underscore CSV, Pandas is going to say, all right, I'm going to read the first row as column names, and then the rest of the rows are all data rows. So now I'll read them as data. Okay. And I'm going to assume that the delimiter is comma. Okay. So which means without the default, then what you're really saying here is, right? Separator is that. And here I'm going to use a different. Okay, so there is another one called table. So table load delimited data from a file and /t as the default delimiter. So read underscore CSV, comma is the default delimiter. So here I have, since this is underscore table, which is for which /t is the delimiter, that is tab. So I have to specify, no, tab is not the delimiter here, it's comma. Okay. So, that's another way of reading the same file. Okay, now if you have a tab separated file, and if you read it using read CSV, and here we have ex1 text. So ex1 text looks like this. It's the same file, right? But the delimiter is not comma, but it is tabbed. Okay. So I'm going to take that and put it in here. Okay, so this is txt. Okay, and the separator is not comma. Okay. So now it read it properly. If you didn't use the /t, okay, let's see what happens if you don't use the /t. So you see that there are no commas in the data, so it doesn't parse at all. It just takes the whole thing and says that's the single data point. Of course, if you did this with data table, read table, okay, because table read underscore table assumes tab as the default delimiter, you don't have to specify what the delimiter is, it automatically brings it in. Okay. And in some instances, you may have a CSV file where there are no column headers. It's just data starting right off. Okay. But both CSV and table command code assumes that the first row, okay, contains column names. Okay. So now if it's not column names, it just starts off with data, then you have to tell that the first row is also data. Okay. And then you're going to, insert column names manually yourself. Right? So if that is the case, then what you have to do is, let me take that code, and suppose if everything is data and there is no column name as column header, then you have to say header equal to none. Okay. So now you see that the first row, A, B, C, D, and message, that is also read in as a data row. Then default column names are set 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.